am I designing the rod for? How does this fish fight? Does he fight deep? Does he fight on top? Is he a fast runner fish? Is he a fish that's going to go deep and you got to pull him up? These are all things that you put into it over the years. And I've been designing rods for around 35 years. I used to do a heck of a lot of fishing, and fishing with the very best. I've never been the best fisherman in the world, but I've been good enough to fish with the best fishermen in the world. Find out what they need for a better tool to do the job that they're trying to do. And if I have anything to claim, it's probably that part there. Not the best fisherman in the world, but I do okay. So anyway, this tip section is really the extension of the rod. Gives you a chance to be able to load it up, be able to cast it, the sensitivity, and the speed upon hooking. But the faster the rod is, the heavier line you have to use, because what you do is you come up against the stiffness of the second section. You can take 10-pound test, wrap it around your hands, hold it up like that, you can't break it. If you do that, you break it easy. It's not the pull that breaks the fish off, it's the shock. And so if you have a very fast rod and come down and loads here quick, whapple, you break him off. So if you're going to fish a little bit larger fish, you're going to want to throw a little bit further, because this is kind of a short fulcrum to be able to load. Let's go on this load deal first. It's probably the most important. We know that we can jump higher off of a diving board than we can a platform. It's because we're actually loading energy into it and recovering energy out of it. And this is what you're doing here. With your lure, your line, or whatever, you're loading the energy, and the percentage of energy that you can recover out of that, whatever it is, whether it's a fly or a spinner or a lead sinker or whatever, the more you can recover, the better you're going to do in distance. And it really comes down to sensitivity, accuracy, fishing all day and everything else. But anyway, this is between one rod and our rods. You take a diving board, so you jump on the diving board and you load it. It recovers, it throws you so far, it oscillates so long and it stops. This oscillation was energy that was not discharged. So if you turn around and tie 50 pounds under the diving board, it is now hasn't changed the stiffness, all we've changed the stiffness to weight. So now when you jump on that diving board, it has to recover you and the 50 pounds. It doesn't throw you as far. It oscillates a longer period of time, showing you it did not discharge as high percentage of energy. So later on, when we get to your fly rods again, I've already told you that. So now you understand that weight is a very important part to your rods, whether it's the lower modulus graphite. If I didn't own this, I'd buy it. Good. Once you feel it, you guys are going to go, wow. Anyway, so the weight of the blank, the weight of the finish on the blank, the weight of the guides, the weight of the thread, the weight of the finish, all that adds weight. All that is tied under that diving board. So we want to get this as light as we can. These new guides that BJ came up with could set a new target for the rest of the people out there because of the weight of them. They look good too. So anyway, that's your tip of your rod. Your middle of your rod is it could be part of a fulcrum if you want to have a faster taper rod to be able to lift. You get something like a tuna that wants to go down and circle on you, you need to lift it up. You need a little bit more power in this area here. If you want to fish like steelhead with 6-8 pound test, you need more softness in here. You need that coming out tight and then stop and having them pull it off. You don't want that shock on it, unless you're going to be fishing something like a hot shot. You'll be fishing 15-20 pound test straight down with the fish where he doesn't see it. But it's really better to have a little bit softer in there anyway. When I did the hot shot rod, I had to soften up the back of it because the other ones used to cavitate. You'd be in a different current, and that plug would be working like this as you're backing down against him. And then you hit a little bit bigger current, and he cavitates, and then the fish go right around it. So what you have to have is a little bit more softness in this area so that it turns around and goes down and keeps that chatter going on the fish. So that's all in the design of the blank. Your blank is your lifting and your power part of your blank. I made some rods one time, and you used to fish them a lot, and it was called the hybrid rods. A saltwater stand-up rod used to, oh God, weigh 6-7 pounds, and in that, it was because they wanted no give in the butt of the rod, because I think it was every 6 degrees you lifted it up, you lost 2 degrees of deal if it bends down here. If it bends down here, you get a lot more than up there when you're trying to lift. So we needed this stiff. So I run unidirectional graphite in this area down here, and then I put a woven over the top of it to keep it from crushing on the railing. In this area here, I use just a highly unidirectional graphite. But up here in the very tip, because we needed to bend over really quick so that was the shortest distance of your lift, and the rest of it lifted it up. And I used a S glass, it's a higher modulus glass than the E glass.